So how can we encourage governments to enshrine the CEDAW in their legal code?
Yes, well, that is the challenge, and that's once again a good question. And I think lessons can be learned from women's movements across the world, and I think it's important for the women's movements in the Arab world to pay heed to what happened in other parts of the world. And I think I said this before, lessons can be learned from what happened in Iran, the mistakes that were made, and the steps that are being made, and the strategies that are put in place to mobilize more women to create change. So a 1 million women signature campaign can be very powerful. This campaign can call for the institutionalizing of the CEDAW, making sure that the spirit of the CEDAW is embraced in all of the legislative reform that follow the Arab Spring. So complying with not just with the CEDAW, but with all of the international treaties that protect the rights of women, children, minorities, and all humans. Lifting the reservations to the CEDAW is important. Both Tunisia and Morocco have already done so. It's important to follow that other countries follow suit. In most countries that have adopted and embraced a reformist project, what we see is that they have placed the CEDAW at the center of their constitution, CEDAW as well as the other human rights conventions. For example, the South African constitution is a model constitution in the fact that it places the primacy of international conventions at the heart of the constitutions. So constitutional reform in the Arab world must ensure that the CEDAW as well as the other human rights conventions are enshrined, so that the spirit of the CEDAW governs the interpretation of the constitution, and that whenever there is a conflict, that the CEDAW and other human rights conventions triumph against cultural, religious, and other laws and norms that might seek to subordinate women in the name of religion and culture.